Hello guys, welcome to my online study session. Now in this video, I'm going to be working on the PCT notes, particularly the history of pharmacy in Nigeria. Now this my study session and not a video that is meant for teaching, like it's just like a revision I'm doing for myself. And I find it that it may be important to some of us. That is the reason why I decided to post it. So I may make some mistakes in this particular one. Please pardon. Now, the question here says, the first medicine shop in Nigeria was owned by, I think the answer is Richard Zacchaeus, which is abbreviated as Z, then Ballet. In 1887, along Balogun Street, Lagos, Mainland. Along Balogun Street, Lagos, Mainland. Okay, that is solution to that first question. Now, the next question says the first pharmacy school in Nigeria was opened in dash in the year dash. It was opened in Yaba in the year 1925. The first pharmacy school in Nigeria was opened in Yaba in the year 1925. Now the next question says, by 1900, there were 4 hospitals in Nigeria, and these were in, now the states that these hospitals were are, these hospitals were in Calabar. They were in Calabar. The other was in Lagos, Asaba, and Abeokuta. These were the 4 hospitals. These were the location of the 4 hospitals in Nigeria. Now the West Africa Drug Company Limited was opened in what year? The West Africa Drug Company was opened in 1924. The separation of pharmacy and physicians was brought by, now this particular question I really don't, the answer, what is in the material was edit, something like this. I don't really know the spelling. Edit in the Council of Bruges in 1683 AD. That is after death. Now, that is that for this question. The next, say give the year the following certificate were first issued. Dispenser certificate was first issued in the year 1902. Chemist and druggist certificate was first given in the year 1935. Then this one was actually between 1933/1935. Then the diploma in pharmacy, this one for the chemist, was 1965. Bachelor in pharmacy was in 1966, and then doctor in pharmacy early 2000. Then we have 223, and then comma like that. Okay, so these were the years the first certificate were issued. The dispenser certificate, which are known as dispensers, are 1902. Chemist and druggist certificate was in 1933/1935. Diploma in pharmacy was 1965. Bachelor in pharmacy was in 1966, and doctor in pharmacy was early 2023. This one also, we said, is by edit, something like this, in the Council of Bruges in 1683 AD. Let's look at the next question. Still this one, let's go again together as a form of repetition. Dispenser certificate is 1902. This one is 1933/1935. This is 1965. This is 1966. And this is early 2000s. Then, 2023, this same Council of Bruges in 1683 AD. Now, what is master formula? Master formula is a list of ingredients. Is a list of ingredients of a compound, or we can say of a drug or of a substance, in the way they are combined, or in the manner they are combined, the way they are combined. That's what the master formula is all about. Okay? Or we can say the master formula accurately. Can say the master formula is a list of ingredients in a product in the amount they are combined. In the amount they are combined. That's what the master formula is all about. The list of ingredients in a product in the amount they are combined. This is actually more correct. Are you getting it? So this one, from internet understanding or just basic understanding, why this one direct from the notes. Okay, so from here I'm able to actually derive this. Are you getting it now? So the master formula is a list of ingredients in a product in the amount they are combined. Now, list 4 methods for calculating children dosage. The 4 methods are: we have the Fred's rule, we have the Fred's rule, we have the Clark's rule, we have the BSA, body surface area measurement, and then finally we have what is called weight banding. Okay, so these are the 4 methods for calculating children dosage. We have the Fred's rule, Clark's rule, BSA measurement, which is body surface area, and then weight banding. Now, what is Fred's rule? Fred's rule is used for measurements. It's used for measurements of children dosage, or of children dose from adult dose when the age of, or when the weight is unknown. Hence, the age in months is used. Now, the calculation is age in months times adult dosage all over 150 IB in IB. So we have the age in months of infant, of the child rather, times the adult dose divided by what? 150. So that's how to calculate for Fred's rule. Now the next one is Clark's rule. Clark's rule, the age of the child is known. For Clark's rule, the age is known. Okay? The weight is known rather. The weight is known. So we use the following. Weight is known. So they use the weight of the child all over 70 times adult dose. Weight of child times 70, divided by 70 times adult dose. Now, in some places, you will see this one as 75, like the one in our note. This is 75 times the adult dose. Now, this one is when the weight is given in what? Kilogram. If the weight is given in IB, it will be weight of child or child weight divided by 150 IB times adult dose. So that is basically for the Clark's rule. Clark's rule is when the weight of the child is known. So you use the weight of child divided by 75 times adult dose, or weight of child times adult dose divided by 150. Now, that is when kg is given, you use 75. When IB is given, you use 150. Please take note of this for Clark's rule. Now, the next one is body surface area. So for body surface area, you use the body surface area of the child. So you use BSA of child times adult dose divided by 1.73 meter square. So this one is for body surface area. This is the formula you use by using the body surface area of the child. Now, the next one is weight banding. Now, for weight banding, children of a particular weight or range are given the same dosage. For instance, in some drugs, when you buy, they will say for children of 6 to 12 years, give them, let's say, 1 in the morning, or let's say 1 TID. You know what it means? 3 times daily. That one is what? Weight banding. A particular age range or weight range, you give them the same dosage. That's for weight banding. Now, let's look at the next. What volume of a 1 in 200 volume by volume solution is required to prepare 5 liters of a 1 in 4,000 volume by volume solution? Now, whenever you are given a question like this, the first thing you do is write out your equation, the formula. What formula are you going to use? You are going to use dilution formula, which is what? C1 V1 is equal to C2 V2. Now, I say what volume of a 1 in 200 solution? In most cases, it is wise that you convert this particular one to percentage. Are we getting it? So to convert 1 in 200 volume per volume to percentage, what do you do? For the first one, let's say C1 is equal to 1 in 200. To convert this to percentage, you use the formula 1 divided by 200 times 100%. Now, when this cancel this, it's going to give us 0.5%. So it means our C1 is equals to 0.5%. Okay. The next one is the volume. Is the volume known? The volume is not known, so the volume is unknown. Required to prepare a 5 liter. So V2 is known. They gave V2 as what? 5 liter of a 1 in 1,000. Concentration C2 is 1 all over 4,000 times 100 to convert it to percentage. So when this cancels this cancels this, you have 1 all over 40. And 1 divided by 40 is going to give 0.025, something like that. Let me check. 1 divided by 40 we give 0.025%. Now substituting into this formula now, what are we now going to have? We are going to have our C1 V1 equals to C2 V2. Now where's our C1? Our C1 is 0.5% times V1 is unknown. That is what you are looking for. Is equals to C2 is 0.025 times V2 is 5 liter. So your answer should be in liter. When you divide this to get V1, what do? Divide this by 0.5. Divide this by 0.5. This cancel this. V1 is equal to, when 0.025 divide 0.5, it will give 0.05 times 5 liter. This will give 0.25 liter. So in order to make 1 in 200 volume by volume solution, or say what volume of a 1.1 over 1 in 200 volume by volume solution is required to prepare 5 liter of a 1 in 4,000 volume by volume solution. So what you actually need is 0.25 liter. So if you need 0.25 liter now, you mix it together, you put 5 liter, you mix it to 5 liter. What are you going to get? Or you increase the volume to 5 liter. You are going to have 1 in 4,000 volume per volume solution. So the correct answer to this question is 0.25. Okay. The next, to what volume must 250 milliliter? So let's say V1 is 250 milliliter of a 25% weight by volume. C1 25% weight by volume. Solution be diluted to produce a 10%. So C2 is 10% weight by volume, and then V2 is unknown because they ask you to what volume. Okay? Now substituting into this equation, you have C1 V1 is equals to C2 V2. Now C1 is what? What are we going to have as our C1? It's 25%. So times V1 is 250 milliliter. C2 is 10% times what? V2. Divide both sides by 10. Divide both sides by 10. When 10 cancels 10, our V2 will be 25 times 250 divided by 10. This cancels this. You have 25 times 25. I think it's 625. So the volume you need is 625 milliliter. Okay? 625 milliliter. Let me calculate 25 times 25. It's actually 625 milliliter. So that is the answer to that question. Now the next. How many millimoles of sodium is present in a solution containing 0.8 milli equivalent? Now, 1 millimole is equal to 1 milli equivalent. Are we getting it now? So 0.8 milli equivalent will be equal to what? X. When you cross multiply this, our X will be equal to 0.8 millimoles. So that is the answer to this question. So 0.8 millimoles equals to 0.8 milli equivalent. Because 1 millimole is equal to 1 milli equivalent. Okay? So that's the answer to that question. Now let's look at the next. Calculate the formula for 175 milliliter of Calamine lotion, oily BPC. And then you are given Calamine. This is the formula that is given in the BP. Are you getting it? So this is the master formula. Now from this master formula, we are expected to get the percentages of each of these, or the amount of each of these. Now normally the milliliter for the master formula is 1000 milliliter, and what you are expected to prepare now is 175 milliliter. It means you are reducing and not expanding. Now you are going to use the formula. Formula is X is equal to AY all over B, where X is what you are calculating for. Are you getting it? The volume required or amount required. Okay, you can take amount required. That's what you are calculating for. A is amount in master formula then we have B is equal to the volume. B is volume in master formula and then we can say our Y is equal to volume required to prepare, the volume you are required to prepare. So this volume required to be prepared. Okay, how we said our B is the volume of product in the master formula. So now in most cases when I see something like this, I usually do not want to confuse myself with this. Just do little calculation and you'll be able to get your answer. Okay, let me bring out this equation here. S is equal to AY all over B. We said let's define each of the parameter. S is amount required, the amount of ingredient required. You can decide to just put amount required. Then we have Y, volume required to be prepared. And then B, the volume in the master formula. I think that is all. X, Y, B. What other one again? A is the amount of ingredients in the master formula. Amount of ingredients in master formula. Okay. What we have here, there's nothing basically different from what we've been doing in our PCT practicals. Okay, so let's calculate for Calamine lotion. You can say normally if you want to do this for PCT practical, what do you say? If you want to calculate for that of Calamine lotion, you want to calculate for 175 milliliter, you can say 50 gram gives what of Calamine lotion is what present in 1000 milliliter of Calamine lotion. Is that not of the solution? 50 gram of Calamine lotion is in 1000 milliliter of the solution. Therefore 175 milliliter would be what? Equals to X. From here, that was where they derived that formula. So when this multiply this, it will be what? 1000X is 50 times 175. So to get 1000, to get X, divide both side by 1000 and X cancel X. 1000 cancel 1000. Your S would be equal to 50 times 175 is that divided by 1000. That will give us 8.75. 8.75 gram. So in place of our new formula now in the new formula, what you are going to do is write this whole thing again, but because of space, I'm not going to write it again. Write this whole calamine lotion, calamine, wool fat, oleic acid, arachis oil, calcium hydroxide. Write it, and then here you're going to put 8.75 gram for calamine lotion. Now, if we use the formula I gave now to solve this, it will be what? X is equal to AY all over B. S will be equals to A is what? A is the amount of ingredients in the master formula. What do we have here is 50. Y is what? Y is volume required to be prepared. What the volume required to be prepared in this case is 175 milliliter. B is what? Volume in the master formula. What is the volume in the master formula? This is 1000 milliliter. So when you cancel this, it's going to give us that same answer, which is 50 times 175 times 1000. Divided by 1000 rather. Divided by 1000 is 8.75 gram. Okay? So that is basically that. Now let's calculate for the next one. The next one now, you are still going to use the same approach. So you use this one now, relate it with this. So you say 10 gram to give what? 1000 milliliter of the solution. Therefore, 175 milliliter would be equals to what? X. So we can now say that our X is, when this multiplies this, it gives us 10 times 175 divided by 1000. And that will be 10 times 175 divided by 1000, which is 1.75 gram. So our answer here, in place of wool fat, instead of 10 gram, what you are going to have there is 1.75 gram. Okay? So, sorry. This one now will be 1.75 gram. If you want to use the master formula now, S is what? AY all over B. S will be equals to A is what? The volume. The A is the amount of ingredient in the master formula. Where's the amount of the ingredients in the master formula? 10 gram. Times Y is what? Y is the volume required to be prepared. The volume required to be prepared is 175. And B is the volume in the master formula. Where's the volume in the master formula? 1000 milliliter. And then when you press this, it's going to give us this 1.75 gram. Okay? Now that is that for that. Let us take for the next one. The next one is pretty easy. Oleic acid. Now you can now say that 5 milliliter of oleic acid will give us, is present in how many milliliter? It's present in 1000 milliliter. Therefore, in 175 milliliter, the composition of oleic acid will be S, which is this times this. 1000x is 5 times 175. Divide both sides by 1000. Divide both sides by 1000. Your S would be equals to, so we have 5 times 175 divided by 1000, which is equals to 0.875. Okay? So what we are going to have here is 0.85 milliliter in 175 ml. Then the next one is 500 milliliter. Now using the same formula, it will be 500 times 175 divided by 1000, and this will give 500 times 175 divided by 1000, 87.5 milliliter. Okay, 87.5 milliliter. Now the last one, what you are now going to do, you are now going to say calcium hydroxide to, what they did here was, after the calculation, they say calcium hydroxide to 1000 milliliter. But in this preparation now, you are not preparing 1000 milliliters. So what you are going to do, you say calcium hydroxide to 175 milliliter. Okay, so this will now be, because what you were asked to prepare is 175 milliliter, and this will now be the new formula for all the products. So here, what you have here is calamine. This one is wool fat. This one is oleic acid. And then this one is arachis oil. And then finally calcium hydroxide to 1000 milliliter. Okay, calcium hydroxide to 1000 milliliter, and that is solution to that question.